Good morning and welcome to Daybreak. I'm your host, Brittany Lauffer.
And I'm Ryan Bailey. This week on Daybreak, we have your campus, city, and national news.
Plus, we have weather, entertainment, and the sports report for you. And James Hill will be with us later making apple pie.
All that and more straight ahead on Daybreak. In campus news this week, an email was sent out to Point Park students, and the university campus is planning on upgrading its Wi-Fi. Some of its improvements include faster speeds, the ability to save usernames and passwords, and allowing students to roam campus without losing connection. Tim Wilson, the Assistant Vice President of Information Technology Services, says that this is a project that has been in the works for over 2.5 years. Students can look for the improvements within the next 2 weeks. The United Student Government allocated just over $43,000 to 31 different clubs on Monday. The Honor Student Organization received the highest amount at $63,000. The next highest was the Rugby Club, accepting over $3,700. Strong Women, Strong Girls, the Body Christian Fellowship, SAEM Club, and Pinnacle all received at least $2,000. The theater club's budget was cut from $3,000 down to $1,000 after allegations of the budget being used to purchase alcohol during an event last spring. Pinnacle Productions' first play of the season is quickly approaching. Pinnacle is the only on-campus theater group run entirely by students. Students of all majors are encouraged to participate, not just theater majors. Senior acting major Amanda Montoya said, quote, "Pinnacle doesn't belong to just the theater majors. It belongs to Point Park University as a whole." The first show of the season is going to be an Irish play, Howie the Rookie, which will debut February 20th. The Boulevard Apartments, which many thought were only for upperclassmen, has 6 underclassmen within its walls this semester. Assistant Dean of Campus Life and Director of Occupancy Management, Janet Evans, says that the rooms in the Boulevard Apartments are from upperclassmen first, but if the rooms are empty, there is no reason to let it sit empty. The school can currently house 1,020 students on campus, but currently there are only 871 students that live on campus. Evans predicts that when the Playhouse moves downtown, many upperclassmen will move back on campus. Point Park is debating a major decision that will impact thousands of students, and it has to do with the shuttle services that take students back and forth between the university and Oakland. Daybreak correspondent Kelsie Metzgar talked with students about how the outcome will impact their plans.
The eventual relocation of the Playhouse is causing student concern about the future of the Oakland shuttles. A popular spot for student living, South Oakland may soon be reconsidered by students like sophomore Zach Aaron if shuttles cease to run.
Next year, me and a few friends are going to live off campus, and the transportation down to downtown from Oakland is just so convenient. Since it's free, you don't need to worry about money, so it's just one less thing you have to worry about paying for.
It's not only about the convenience for Aaron, he utilizes Point Park's free service for working as well.
For someone like me and a couple of my friends who work for a company that we work up at the University of Pittsburgh up in Oakland, so for us it's more than just living. We need to make money, and the best way to get there is through the shuttle.
Now, Dean Palo says his office has been in talks with various organizations at Point Park about the shuttle service.
I know that this office, the Office of Student Affairs, will work very closely with getting notice out, no matter what the change is, in enough time so that the students do have the ability to make adjustments.
As soon as possible would definitely be the best time to get this decision made. I know between me and my friends that's one of the biggest factors, whether there's free transportation back to campus. I'm certainly going to rethink the decision depending on the outcome of whether they decide to suspend shuttle service to and from Oakland.
Reporting for Point News, I'm Kelsie Metzgar.
And that's all for your campus news. Now here's Brittany with City News.
Thanks, Ryan. In city news, a new transportation bill is set to give the Port Authority of Allegheny County nearly $240 million through 2016. The new state bill will cover the Post Authority's yearly structural deficit and allow for additional money to flow into an account for capital projects for the next few years. CEO Ellen McLean commented that there will be some new changes in the next few months, which could be adding additional buses on existing routes and adjusting schedules to decrease wait time at stops during peak times. In downtown Pittsburgh last Wednesday morning, a concrete truck caused traffic backups after it crashed into a Port Authority bus, another vehicle, in a building around 10 a.m. Investigators say 10 people suffered injuries, none of which are believed to be serious. The accident occurred near the intersection of 2nd Avenue and Ross Street. An investigation remains to determine the cause of that crash. Allegheny County Police are baffled at a mysterious two-person murder that occurred on February 6th in an East Liberty home. Police found the bodies of sisters Susan and Sarah Wolf in their basement around 1 p.m. the next day with single gunshots in their head. 44-year-old Susan was found naked and doused with chemicals, while 38-year-old Sarah was found fully clothed with her coat only half removed. Allegheny County District Attorney Steven Zappala Jr. told the Tribune-Review that investigators have a potential suspect. Zappala also commented that detectives have made a great deal of progress on the case so far. A worker is still missing after a fire at the Greene County gas well last Tuesday morning. An explosion and fire occurred at a natural gas well near the West Virginia border, about 50 miles south of Pittsburgh. Chevron spokesman Trip Oliver told WPXI on Wednesday that one person was reported hospitalized and another is unaccounted for. Officials from the State Department of Environmental Protection claim the fire may burn for a few days before they can determine what caused the fire. The Department of Environmental Protection spokesman John Poyster says of the missing worker that everyone just hopes for the best. February is Black History Month and the city found a new way to celebrate it. Pittsburgh is featuring a month-long exhibit to highlight the works of 3 notable African-American artists from Pennsylvania during Black History Month. According to the City Park's press release, the city of Pittsburgh collaborated with Pittsburgh's museum dedicated to the art of cartooning, called the Toonseum, to present a free exhibit of comics drawn by Black artists. The comics are on display in the lobby of the City Council building on Grant Street downtown.
Well, this year we're actually celebrating Black History Month with an exhibit called Behind the Funny Pages, where we showcase 3 artists. One is Clarence Matthew Baker, the other one is Zelda Jackie Ormus, and the third one is Orrin Evans.
Well, I think it's kind of unique, right? Because we're looking at comic books and we're saying, okay, what do comic books have to do with Black History Month? But in Pittsburgh, they have to do with a lot. We actually have a history going back to the Pittsburgh Courier, where there used to be 8 pages of comics within the paper itself. And what's that mean? That means that there was a way to communicate a message of civil rights, a message that talked about an America that could be through comics.
There are 49 pieces that are hung, showing the range of the artist's work during their lifetime.
So in 1930s and 40s, comic books was all the rage, and Pittsburgh played a big part in that by displaying a lot of African-American comics at that time. And for us to showcase them is just bridging the gap between our past history and our future history of a lot of comics that are coming out these days from Pittsburgh artists.
The exhibit will be open until February 28th on weekdays from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. Reporting for the Point Park News Service, I'm Brittany Lauffer. And that's all for your city news this morning. Now back to Ryan at the couch.
Thanks, Brittany. Coming up next on Daybreak, we will have a national news report for you and an exclusive interview with the world's best glassblower. We'll be right back.